Good morning. This is Pastor Tom Adams of the Good News Bible Church. In Ephesians 2:8-9, it's written, "For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourself, it is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast." And also in Romans 3:24, again the Apostle Paul writes, "Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Jesus Christ." Grace is receiving something wonderful and not deserving it in any way. Whenever someone tells you that God demands everyone to be baptized or take communion in order to be saved, they're taking away grace, and grace is the only way anyone can be declared justified in God's eyes. In Romans 3:28, it's written, "Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law." The law is the 10 Commandments. There are actually 213 ordinances that God gave to man. The 10 Commandments are part of them. However, the 10 Commandments were not given to provide salvation to anyone. They were given to show us that we need a Savior. Galatians 3:24 says the law was our schoolmaster to bring us to Christ, that we can be justified by faith. A legitimate question is, what are we supposed to place our faith in? John 3:16 says that God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. To have faith in Jesus, then, is to believe that by his death, burial, and resurrection, he has paid the complete payment for our sin. If we think we need to do anything other than place our faith in him, we're taking grace totally away. The Scriptures are completely clear. Salvation is by grace through faith, and faith is not a work. It is to believe that Jesus Christ has done all the work that is necessary in providing salvation. If there was anything we had to do other than that would be saying that Christ didn't do enough, and that is nothing short of blasphemy. And yet at least 80% of religions are telling people they're required to do something other than trust Christ and his work alone. Throughout the Gospels, Jesus Christ made it very clear that the only means of salvation was to believe in him. In John 6, verses 28 and 29, Jesus was asked what they should do to do the work of God. Jesus answered them and said, "The work of God is to believe on him whom he has sent." Notice Christ never mentioned any other requirement. Throughout the Bible, we read of God's grace manifested through his Son, Jesus Christ. Hebrews 10:7 says that Jesus Christ came in the volume of the book. In other words, from Genesis to Revelation, Christ is portrayed continuously, but one religion says that he isn't really God. They consider him a lesser God. This again is blasphemy. In John chapter 1, we find that Christ created everything in this world. Jesus Christ is not a lesser God. He is equally God as God the Father is. I would like to be clear on something. Taking communion or being baptized, they're not bad things, but they just don't have the ability to save anyone or keep someone saved. Jesus told of communion in 1 Corinthians 11:23-29. Here he states that the bread is a reminder of his body that he gave for us, and the wine or juice represents the blood he shed for us. The actual eating of the bread and drinking of the wine doesn't save us. It's to have us to always remember that he has done what he has done for us. Baptism again doesn't save us, but it represents our now being born again, where we were once lost and drowning because of sin. We are now come out and have life everlasting. Remember, if any act or ritual were required for salvation, the element of grace would be gone. And we need to always remember that self-reformation or keeping the 10 Commandments cannot save. No one has ever kept the 10 Commandments, and even if they could, it wouldn't save them. The law cannot bring life. It can only condemn. Only Jesus Christ can give life. In Hebrews 10, it says that the law and the old sacrificial system cannot take away sin. In verses 12-14, it says that this man, Jesus Christ, after he had offered one sacrifice for sin, he sat down on the right hand of God, for by one offering he has perfected forever those that are sanctified. This has been Pastor Tom Adams. I'd like to invite you to our services on Sunday at 9 a.m. and Wednesday night at 7 p.m. May the grace and love of God become more real to you each and every day, Goodbye for now, and thank you for listening.